This video is brought to you by Verve. For a free month of ad-free viewing, head on over to verve.co/Gaijin or check out the link in the description to get 12 amazing channels of anime, movies, and original shows. Hey everyone, Gaijin Goombah here. So, a lot of people have been sending us messages wanting us to do another video teaching Japanese vocab through nerd culture, and yeah, that's something we'd love to do, but there just hasn't been a whole lot of research material to work with.
In the past, we used things like Pokemon names to help explain vocab, but not much else really stuck out as a way to tangentially teach these new nutty Japanese words. The gaming well is almost completely dry, and anime? So much of it has been so Western focused with all these MMO and fantasy shows that we'd actually have an easier time creating videos explaining English words to Japanese than vice versa.
That is until good old My Hero Academia rolled around.
Don't you mean Boku no Hero Academia?
Alright, so let me give you a little context. If I had to name the one thing that made Japan unique when it comes to its humor, it's puns. Japan freaking loves puns, or dajare as they put it. Stuff like kono ikura wa ikura, or how much is a salmon roe, or things like shoganai wa shoganai, meaning there's no salt, it can't be helped. You can find this stuff everywhere in Japan, including anime, with puns crammed into old favorites like Dragon Ball to even more recent series like Darling in the Franxx. But with the exception of the above-mentioned shows and maybe a handful of series, the use of clever name puns has become mostly a dead art, which to me has been so disappointing because it's one of the best ways to learn vocabulary.
Well, times change. Gotta milk those cute slice-of-life aesthetics now. You can't let things like clever writing, bombastic action, or subtle creativity get in the way of those sweet, sweet waifu dollars, and oh my god, Toji, get back in the corner!
So expecting very little, I went into My Hero without expectation. But then I saw this little twerp, Bakugo. And I thought, that's a really weird name for a kid. But then I saw what that little turd could do.
So wait. Baku? As in Bakuhatsu Baku?
Sure enough, just as plain as the nose on your, glasses on your face, it was there. So let's break it down proper. Katsuki Bakugo's name breaks down into these 4 kanji. His family name, Bakugo, contains the kanji of Baku, or explosion, and Go, which can also be read as Erai, meaning huge.
So, huge explosion. Well, that pretty much sums up the dude's entire character.
Well, not exactly, because then you also have his given name, Katsuki, which breaks down into Katsu, or win, and Ki, which can also be written as Onore, or by myself. This actually sums up Bakugo far more than his surname. Bakugo is a character who compulsively acts alone, feeling the need to overpower his enemies solo to prove not only to the world, but to himself that he has the capacity to win by his own merits. That's what drives him as a character.
Huh. So do all these characters have such deep, meaningful names?
Well, according to the My Hero Wiki they do, but I'm not so sure. I understand communities can go to great lengths to catalog this kind of info, but to be honest, by the end of this, someone's gonna have to do some reorganizing. So for this video, let's dig into some of the other members of the Ichinen Eigumi to see just how clever Kohei Horikoshi got with his characters, starting with the best boy, Izuku Midoriya. Now at first glance, Izuku's name seemed to be the same boring type we just got done railing on. I mean, Midoriya, Green Valley, that's pretty simple.
Well, his family does have that green hair thing going on.
Well, maybe, but surprisingly, there's a lot more to his given name than I realized. Aside from the Deku-Dekiru dichotomy we've seen spelled out in the show, Izuku's name kanji means to come out and a long time respectively. Considering it took Midoriya till high school and help from All Might to come out on his own, to be capable, this name would be very appropriate for his character.
Also, if you plug in his kanji into Google Translate, you get the word endurance. Not sure why though, we cross-referenced the kanji's multiple meanings with half a dozen different dictionaries, both electric and paperback. But if such meaning comes from these 2 kanji, then it makes even more sense for Midoriya to have this as his given name. Considering the strain he constantly puts himself through to get the job done, breaking his bones and tearing his skin over and over again, there is no better word than endurance to represent Midoriya's resolve.
And then we got best girl Tsuyu Asui. Yeah, I said it, f***ing fight me. And her name is equally curious. Now her first name, Tsuyu, is an absolute no-brainer. It's literally Tsuyu, or rainy season. A time in Japan starting in late May, wrapping up in July, when you might as well solder an umbrella to your back cause you're gonna need it. But what you might not know is that this time of year in Japan is completely personified by frogs. Seriously, as soon as those rains come, you're gonna see all kinds of frog-related merch in stores. And the reason for that is because this is the time of year when frogs go absolutely ham. Living on the countryside like I did, I remember every single night falling asleep to countless frogs getting their mac on in the rice fields. And about 2 weeks later, you couldn't walk past a single patty without seeing 3 dozen tadpoles around the plants. They were freaking everywhere.
What about Tsuchan's family name, Asui? I mean, that breaks down into frog and spout? Puff? What's up with that?
My best guess is that it has something to do with the fact that the entire family is pretty froggy. Might be a stretch, but maybe it's just referencing how forceful this family exudes their amphibious traits.
Huh. Oh, we gotta talk about Toru. So her given name kanji Toru plainly means transparent, I mean that one's just obvious, but something the wiki doesn't mention is the sort of ninja-like quality to her name? Yeah, I know not everything is ninja, but just roll with me on this one. If you take her family name Hagakure by itself, the only thing that could really relate to it is the samurai book of the same name, which basically teaches the way of dying and how to prepare for death at all times, which was the samurai way, but not really Toru's thing. However, it's believed out of the 49 ninja clans that once existed in Japan, the Hagakure was one of them. It's kind of tricky as I've only found word-of-mouth sources on this, but the concept of Hagakure being a ninja school is referenced all over popular media. I'll have to dig more into this, but it's possible that Toru's family name and her abilities might have stemmed from one of Japan's great master schools of sneak.
Next, let's talk about Ochako, because this one really made me scratch my head. Honestly, Ochako has a pretty basic name. Uraraka breaks down into Urara, which can also be pronounced as day, meaning beautiful, and Ka, also pronounced as he, meaning day. And her given name, Ochako, literally means tea kid. So yeah, not sure where tea fits in all of this, but Ochako's demeanor and kindness does brighten up the day. However, there's little else I could connect her character to her name. And Iida was also kind of a weird one, because in this case, the wiki was just straight up wrong. According to it, the combination of Iida's surname and the first kanji of his given name forming Idaten meant great runner, but no, this is the Japanese name of Skanda, the Mahayana guardian of Buddhist monasteries and protector of the Dharma. Maybe Idaten was fast or something, but in all my research, I couldn't find any proof of this protector of Buddhism having fancy feet. Simply breaking it down, Iida's family name means food and field, a pretty regular name actually. And his given name Tenya literally means heaven, and I guess you could call it an exclamation particle? Cool, but not super related to being fast.
What about Yayorozu Momo, the gal who can literally make anything?
Now this one the wiki got right. Yayorozu is in reference to Yayorozu no Kami, or literally 8 million gods. While textbooks and teachers alike will tell you that Shinto makes up 8 million gods, the term is generally more referring to an uncountable number, meaning there are an uncountable number of kami as there are uncountable number of things that Yayorozu can create. Combine that with her first name kanji, which is also read as hyaku and meaning 100, yeah, just tack on another 100 things that Momo can make.
But to the opposite end of Yayorozu thirsting after her is everyone's favorite trash baby, Mineta Minoru. To the wiki's credit, the kanji for Minoru's name does stem from both the same kanji and pronunciation of the verb minoru, meaning to bear fruit. And yeah, the double entendre of this kid's desire to procreate as well as his head grapes do make a lot of sense. However, the two kanji for his family name, Mineta, doesn't really mean great fertility as the wiki implies, but more of mine meaning peaks or summits and ta or field. But all things considered, this boy does have an unhealthy obsession with mountain peaks, so I guess the name checks out.
But dude, we can't leave out Todoroki. He's one of my absolute faves, and he's got a pretty appropriate name too. Shoto's kanji can be broken down into two words, kogeru meaning to burn, and koru meaning to freeze. Incredibly apt, right? Well, it gets even better, because his family name Todoroki comes from the root word todoroku, meaning to roar or to reverberate. And if nothing else, both Shoto and his father Endeavor are both men of explosive roaring power in their abilities.
You wanna talk perfect names, look no further than Tokoyami. This guy is literally just darkness 3 times over. His family name Tokoyami is literally just Toko or always and Yami meaning darkness. Eternal darkness if you will. Seems standard enough for the character, but it's his first name that really threw us for a loop. While separated, Tokoyami's given name, Fumikage, can be broken down into Fumu, meaning experience, and Kage, meaning shade or shadow, which, yeah, again, it makes sense. But put them together and somehow Google translates it as depression. Look, Internet, I know he's the dark brooding type, but I can't cross-reference any of this in my dictionaries. Besides, does this look like a depressed child? I don't know, maybe there's more behind the bird that we haven't seen yet, but regardless, kids, never trust Google Translate.
I could honestly go on and on, but this would turn into an hour-long video, and sadly I don't have the month it would take to produce that. But I encourage you guys to get your favorite heroes and villains and give their names a quick cross-reference. There's a ton of resources online for looking up kanji, and I think you guys might be surprised at just how deep these puns, jokes, and references go just within the names of My Hero's Greatest. And if you want to check out what's arguably the best shonen series on the market right now, you can watch it for free on Verve. Now, for those of you who haven't been on my channel for a while, Verve is an online streaming service accessible through your PS4, Xbox, PC, or mobile device that gives you access to 12 amazing channels like Crunchyroll, Funimation, Rooster Teeth, Mondo, and Geek and Sundry, filled to the brim with series old and new, movies, and anime. Like, a lot of anime.
What about those folks who aren't all into anime?
Well, then my recommendation would be to go check out Verve's resurrection of one of the best animated series from the 90s, SWAT Cats.
Wait, so like...
Nah, try this. So if you want to get in on this, head on over to verve.co/Gaijin to get a 30-day free trial of everything Verve has to offer. And with premium service, you can even watch offline with your mobile device. But thanks for watching, everyone. If you're hungry for more culture and My Hero, be sure to check out my other episodes. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys over on my stream at twitch.tv/Gaijin Goombah every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. US Central. But until then, everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.